like online, because that's really what it is. It's the photographs and stuff that come through the feed.
Right.
And I was like, what? Like,
Dissent just let slip some wild footage Terrence Howard handed him. Footage that puts Diddy's so-called private parties on serious blast. Terrence Howard is finally speaking up, and the tea he's spilling, boiling hot. He's been quiet for a while, but now he's laying it all out. How he got iced out of Hollywood for not playing into the shady games that some big names in the industry allegedly run. And with Diddy's name already in the middle of major mess, Terrence is giving everyone a real peek behind the curtain of these so-called power players. But wait, it gets even messier. Diddy's not the only one catching heat. Terrence also had a few words about Young Miami, Diddy's rumored boo. According to him, she was deep in those freak-offs. And what she allegedly got caught doing on camera? Way more twisted than anyone was ready for. Things are getting wild fast, and this bomb's about to blow. What's really wild is that Terrence dropped all this heat without even being asked. Nobody had a clue he had dirt stacked up on Diddy, just sitting there waiting. Then boom! He showed up on a podcast just a couple days ago and let it all loose. He had a lot bottled up, and when he let it out, it hit hard. This wasn't some planned takedown. This was raw, unfiltered truth straight from someone who's been holding it in for years. From the way Terrence tells it, his story lines up with what folks have been low-key saying about Diddy for years. All those shady rumors, the weird vibes, the awkward invites to some downright uncomfortable scenes. Yeah, it's sounding real familiar now. Terrence said Diddy reached out, claiming he needed some help with acting. But let's be real. Diddy's not out here chasing Oscars, so why is he suddenly asking for private lessons? Terrence thought it was all business and showed up ready to work, strictly professional vibes. But once he got there, Diddy flipped the script. Dude started moving strange, like the whole acting thing was just a cover for something way different. But Terrence, he wasn't with it. He shut that down quick, no hesitation. He told it straight. He doesn't play like that, and he wasn't sticking around for whatever Diddy had planned. He bounced. No games, no second chances. And the real kicker? Terrence said he wasn't even the only one Diddy allegedly tried that move on. According to him, every man who ever pulled up to one of Diddy's wild parties got tested. He said it straight. They lost their man cards at Diddy's gathering. That's the level of chaos he's describing. Like nobody's safe once they step into that world. It's looking real dark and real messy behind those party doors. And this isn't even the first time Terrence has pulled the mask off Hollywood's dirty little secrets. He's been dropping hints for years that he didn't walk away from acting just because the roles dried up. Nope. He says he got pushed out because he wouldn't bend to the twisted rules these insiders try to enforce. Long before this, Terrence already spoke out about why he dipped from the scene, and it had nothing to do with burnout. He refused to be part of the system, and now he's done playing quiet. Terrence said it clear as day. Hollywood straight up tried to strip him of his manhood. Wild, right? Once he took a stand and refused to play by their rules, the smear campaign kicked in fast. They flipped the script, called him difficult, and tried to label him like he was the problem. It's the same old tactic they use, especially on women in the game. As soon as you speak up or don't fold to their twisted demands, suddenly you're the villain. So when Terrence shocked everybody and announced he was retiring from acting back in December 2022, fans were shook. The timing made zero sense. He was still landing big-time roles, the public wasn't dragging him, and there was no obvious scandal pushing him out. But according to Terrence, there was way more going on behind the curtains. He claimed the industry was pressuring him into situations that made him straight up uncomfortable. Moments that, in his words, felt like they were designed to break him down as a man. And when he stood his ground and said no, Hollywood didn't take it lightly. They came for him, hard. This right here, it's the twisted side of the business nobody likes to talk about. Terrence's biggest call-out has been about the pressure to put on a dress for certain scenes, and he wasn't backing down, stood 10 toes down and refused. He said those scenes had nothing to do with the storylines. They felt like setups, like they were trying to turn him into the punchline.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the
Hell
consequences
yeah.
when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there, and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to. That's what my assistant said.
Sounds familiar, huh? And let's not pretend like he's the first to speak on it. A bunch of other black male actors have raised the same red flag. They've talked about being pushed into wearing dresses in skits and movies where it made no sense at all. Cat Williams even broke it all the way down during his sit-down with Club Shay Shay. He said the same exact thing. So when Terrence speaks out now, he's not just venting. He's confirming a pattern that's been in play for way too long. Cat Williams kept it all the way real in that Club Shay Shay interview. He pulled the curtain back on just how deep this whole emasculation thing runs in Hollywood. According to Cat, the pressure for male actors, especially black men, to act feminine or rock a dress, it usually comes with a shiny offer, big checks, big roles. But it all comes at the cost of your pride and your manhood. Cat made it clear he walked away from those fat paydays more than once just to protect his integrity. Just to protect my integrity, he said, and you could feel every word hit like a punch. When that interview dropped, Terrence Howard didn't waste a second. He jumped in with full support and came out swinging with his own truth. Remember those old rumors folks used to whisper about Terrence, saying he had a bad attitude or was just too hard to work with? Well, according to him, that was all part of the setup. That's exactly why they pushed him out. But Terrence wasn't backing down. He said, "My daddy taught me never take the vertebrae out your back or the base out your throat. I ain't raised no sheep. I raise men. Stay a man." Straight from his mouth. Terrence didn't sugarcoat a thing. He said being a real man is like a curse nowadays. Society just ain't built for masculine energy to thrive anymore. Everything's shifting. He called it how he saw it. Said a lot of the men getting praised and pushed forward in the game now, they're moving mad feminine. That's not by accident either. In another interview, Terrence took it even further. He said point blank, there's a hidden agenda out here to feminize black men on purpose. He believes it's because strong, confident black men are viewed as a threat. And he didn't tiptoe around it either. He laid it out. The man has been demonized with this new formula. Most men are made to be feminine and not have their power or sense of strength. This ain't just a theory. He's saying it loud, and people are finally listening. Terrence didn't bite his tongue for nobody. He said it loud. Hollywood lets white men be strong, but the moment a black man stands tall, he's labeled dangerous. He wasn't having it at all. Terrence made it clear. He wasn't about to remove a few chromosomes just to squeeze into somebody's weak, watered-down storyline. He said it plain. Hollywood needs to step up their game, tell better stories, and let men be men without trying to erase their masculinity. At the same time, he showed love to women, saying their beauty should still be celebrated too. Real balance. And with everything Terrence has been dropping lately, especially those jabs at Diddy, fans are connecting the dots and it's all starting to click like crazy. But hold on, it gets even crazier. Word on the street is, Terrence might be holding back even more explosive receipts. And what he's already spilled might just be the tip of the iceberg. According to insiders, there's more tea simmering under the surface, and guess who's caught in the steam? 50 Cent. After Terrence's bombshell interview went viral, 50 tried to play it cool, said, "No comment. I'm staying positive, God help her." But folks are saying 50 knows something too. Allegedly, Terrence got his hands on some wild footage from one of Diddy's infamous parties, and what it shows has people shook. Supposedly, Young Miami was caught in some super questionable scenes, and not just as a guest. The whispers say she might have been deep in the mix. And to be real, this doesn't even surprise folks anymore.
And I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth. But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
The street's been buzzing for a while now that young Miami might know way more than she's letting on. Some rumors even claim she wasn't just a witness at those freak-offs. Allegedly, she played a role in organizing them. And here's the twist. There are receipts that back it up. For instance, when Diddy's other flame, Gina Hind, posted a pic with him, Miami allegedly lost it. She went off, supposedly threatening to make Diddy force Gina into a freak-off to put her in her place. She even came for her online saying, "Tina, you've been down bad ever since I came in the picture. Hope you've been crying for a baby for 15 years. Whew! It's messy, it's wild, and this drama just keeps getting deeper. Miami went off in the wildest way. She straight up snapped, saying, "You've been around like a bee, only getting EP and D when he felt like it. You an eater." Then she doubled down, mocking Gina with, "You the same bee that was crying to Tasha K because you wanted a baby? Poor sushi." And she didn't stop there. Miami kept throwing jabs like it was a heavyweight match. She hit Gina with, "You wanted a baby, B? I got a career. You a certified freak." Then mocked her again, saying, "You haven't heard from Diddy since the awards. You out here messing around and getting rid of babies. Let that hurt go, hun." And the wildest line, Miami said, "If I wanted you to eat me, Diddy would have had you on your knees. You an eater, B. You a munch." Not a munch, though? That meltdown had the internet gasping. It was messy on a whole other level. But as wild as that was, it gets even darker inside Diddy's circle. According to court docs, there's a whole other side to this. And it's chilling. One of Diddy's other alleged side pieces, going by Jane Doe to stay anonymous, came forward with some disturbing claims. Jane Doe says that back in July 2022, she was invited to Diddy's LA mansion. Once there, while inside his bathroom, she was allegedly pressured into taking something. She had no clue what it was. Later, she found out it was ketamine, or something just as heavy. She says it knocked her out cold, leaving her completely unconscious for hours. She made it very clear, she never agreed to take any kind of drugs. She said after blacking out, she woke up with bruises and injuries and no memory of what went down during the night. None. Just pain and confusion. If these claims are true, they're beyond disturbing. The story is getting darker by the day, and people are starting to realize there might be way more victims than anyone thought. According to Jane Doe, things took a horrifying turn behind Diddy's closed doors. She said he would make her put on shows for him, forcing her into situations while feeding her alcohol and mystery substances until she completely blacked out. She claims she'd wake up covered in bruises and injuries with no clue how they got there. And this wasn't just a one-time thing, it allegedly went on for months, all the way until July 2024. But it gets even darker. Jane Doe said she eventually found out she was pregnant with Diddy's baby. And that's when things turned savage. According to her lawsuit, the minute she told Diddy about the positive test, chaos broke out. One of Diddy's close people, Kaya Brownlee, allegedly started blowing up her phone, non-stop, pushing her hard to terminate the pregnancy. The pressure wasn't just verbal, it was relentless. And shortly after all that harassment, Jane Doe said she suffered a miscarriage. Heartbreaking doesn't even cover it. After that, she completely cut ties with Diddy and his crew, going off the radar for about 3 months to recover from the trauma. Now here's the kicker. Kaya Brownlee? That's Young Miami's real name. Yup, one half of the City Girls. And let's not forget how Young Miami spiraled back in 2022 when Diddy had a baby with another woman. She was snapping online, dragging anyone connected to the drama. So it's really not hard to imagine she could have lashed out at Jane Doe too, especially if she saw her as a threat. But hold up, it's not even over. There's also Lil Rod's lawsuit, and his claims are even heavier. He didn't just say Young Miami was around the shady stuff, he said she was in deep. According to him, she wasn't just a bystander, she was allegedly active in the mess, and even had her own family tied up in it.
Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need another one. You here, get you another one.
Thank you, sir, thank you.
Come on.
Because early on you was accusing me of being...
This web just keeps getting darker, and it's clear the deeper people dig, the more disturbing it all becomes. Young Miami wasn't just in the background. She was allegedly a silent witness to everything going down behind the scenes. Lil Rod's lawsuit didn't hold back. He even named a specific moment when things turned downright disturbing. According to the court docs, Diddy was lit, allegedly drunk and offering cocaine to Mr. Jones. But when Jones turned it down and headed to the bathroom to step away from the madness, that's when things went left. Lil Rod claims Young Miami's cousin followed him into the bathroom. And what happened next? Wild doesn't even begin to describe it. She allegedly started groping Mr. Jones without warning, then dropped to her knees and tried to perform oral acts on him. Mr. Jones immediately pushed her off, trying to get out of there, but she wasn't done. The documents say she chased him out of the bathroom, still stripping her clothes off, trying to straddle him right in the open, all while Diddy and his staff stood there watching it happen. No one stepped in, no one said a word, just stood there like it was part of the party. And if that wasn't enough to make your jaw drop, another incident reportedly went down that same year, this time in Miami, on Thanksgiving night, 2022. Diddy allegedly invited Mr. Jones and another man named Forrest Taylor into the studio bathroom with him. He asked them for a $100 bill, said he needed it to snort coke. Mr. Jones didn't have the cash on him, thankfully, but Diddy didn't stop there. Later that night, he still managed to get his fix, allegedly doing nose candy with Young Miami instead. And there's more. Young Miami was also accused of helping Diddy move substances around wherever he needed them. That means she wasn't just in the room. She was allegedly involved. Silent witness? Maybe not so silent after all. These court claims are stacking up fast, and if they hold even a grain of truth, this whole thing is darker and dirtier than anyone thought. Court documents claim that during rehearsals for the Something in the Water Festival in Virginia, Mr. Jones personally caught Diddy doing lines of coke right there in the dressing room. No shame at all. And when Diddy needed to reload, Christina Coram allegedly hit up Young Miami, who then supposedly sent the goods straight from Miami like it was nothing. But oh, it gets way messier. Lil Rod didn't hold back. He even accused Young Miami of being what he called a S-worker for Diddy, claiming she was on the payroll for personal services. According to the court filings, Young Miami, along with Jade and Daphne Joy, were all getting regular wire transfers from Robin Greenhill. And those payments, they're looking real suspicious, like part of a deeper, organized setup. At this point, too many people have tied Young Miami to Diddy's dirty dealings, and things are looking real bad, especially now that 50 Cent's name is in the mix. Yup, word is 50 allegedly has footage of Young Miami caught in 4K doing something she definitely wouldn't want out there. And let's keep it real. If there's one person you don't want holding dirt on you, it's 50 Cent. That man is King Petty, master of the messy, and he lives to drag people through the mud. He's had beef with Diddy for over 20 years, and if he's got receipts, you better believe he's waiting for the perfect moment to let them fly. Right now, it's not looking good for Young Miami. And honestly, Terrence Howard might just be out here speaking pure facts. If you made it this far, you already know what to do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe for more insane updates, and don't forget to drop a comment. What do you think about this madness? Stay locked in, and I'll catch you on the next one.